Hello, and welcome to another edition of Connecting the Dots, where thought leaders, innovators, and game changers of the media and telco industry share their insights, tips, and learning. My name is Andy Waltenspiel, and I'm running a Munich-based consultancy for exactly those industries. Today, my guest is John Tigg. He's VP and Managing Director of Cadent EMEA. He's been in the advertising industry for more than 15 years, so I'm very happy he's here. He's my go-to person for programmable, addressable, ad tech, whatever. Welcome, John. Nice to have you. Hello.
That's very kind of you to say that, Andy. But yeah, it's great to be here. Great to talk. So yeah, looking forward to today's conversation.
Okay, John. So please tell us a little bit about Cadent and what are you doing at Cadent?
Yeah, so I am the Managing Director and VP of Sales for Cadent in EMEA. Cadent is a technology company that provides an addressable television advertising solution to content distributors of all types. So that's going to be your typical television platform operators, as well as digital content distributors. We are, live currently in the UK and rolling out in both Ireland and Belgium this year. We also have a very large business in North America. So we have about 400 brand and agency clients. We bring a broad spectrum of experience in the advertising area to our platform operator clients, whether they be here in Europe or elsewhere in the world. One of our major customers is Liberty Global, for example, here in Europe.
In this COVID period, advertising has been really badly shaken. Can you share some insight on that? And are we past the worst case point already, or is it still really bad? Where are we?
I think without a doubt, we've passed the peak. But look, it would be wrong to say that advertising has not been profoundly affected by COVID-19, and in particular television advertising. So, some of television advertising's traditionally largest customers have simply stopped advertising. In some cases, we've seen falls in ad spend of as much as 50%. What we have also witnessed is an explosion in viewing, and that's happened across all platforms. So certainly we've seen higher viewing in on-demand platforms, but we're also seeing that in the linear space. And so to give that to some sort of statistical backup, we saw some numbers from ITV that had said, that the viewing on their digital platforms had increased by 75% for the month of April. Wow. They'd actually seen an increase of 40% reach on their AVOD platform. So it's not just the same people watching more TV, they're actually reaching new audiences. And finally, I think they've seen growth of more than 100% in simulcast viewing over IP, which is obviously very encouraging. There's definitely a positive story here. As well as recognizing that this has had a big impact on the industry. But look, if ever there was a situation when it might be appropriate to start, I think it's now. And why is that? Because addressable advertising allows you to bring the mass scale and reach and the emotion of television, which is unique, where not only can you target households, you can also attribute sales to households. So you can really start to understand the end-to-end impact of every single euro, dollar, or pound you're spending in advertising when it's kind of through this set-top box-based addressable infrastructure. So overall, I think it's pretty exciting.
So, reach and scale is definitely one of the prerequisites. We even worked on an opportunity where there are 3 operators collaborating. Yeah. So once that's given, once there is no legal objections, what are the things you would recommend an operator, telco, pay TV operator? What are the questions they should ask themselves if they want to get into that? And what are the do's and the don'ts?
Yeah, totally. So look, you highlight a really important area here, which is, this whole idea of collaboration. I think what I'd like to see more of is operators working not just with each other on these solutions. That is important. So scale is very important, but also with broadcasters. So why? Because in many territories, operators are getting into advertising for the first time. And if they're going to invest significant amounts of money in a technology solution, they need to know from the outset that they are building something which is going to be fit for purpose. I would certainly be asking myself how I can bring broadcasters into the discussion earlier on, even bring ad agencies earlier on. Why do I say that? Because ultimately, those are the guys who've got marketers' money and are making the decisions about where that money is spent. And it's that gives you a concrete business model that allows you to make the decisions you need to around the technology that you deploy and how you use your customers' data. Second thing I would be asking myself is, can this solution scale? And what I mean by that is, what we've seen in a lot of cases is that an operator might decide to just make one particular format addressable, but not do the same elsewhere. And so maybe they say, well, right, I'm going to go down this addressable path with VOD, but not with linear. And possibly that's because it's on the understanding that, linear is more complex. And I think certainly from my experience at Cadent and also beyond, today the technology exists that allows you to do that. And what we've seen is that the vast majority of viewing across all of the major European territories is still done in a linear fashion. And so if you want to scale the solution, you need to enable all platforms. So linear, VOD, IPTV, cloud DVR, all of these things need to form part of your solution so that you can contact your customers wherever they may be. And then the final thing I'll be asking myself is, are we able to use our household data, our customer data, in a way that maximizes value for us, but at the same time doesn't sacrifice the viewing experience or our customers' privacy? I mean, obviously, those are really important things and are almost the first things that many operators will think of.
Let's come to the crystal ball, the predictions. So where do you see the industry, especially ad tech advertising, heading over the next 6-12 months?
But look, I'm actually really positive. I think that our community is one that is very resilient. And I think that the industry will bounce back quickly. And so, when I look at marketers, I think that the next 6 to 12 months is going to see them focusing even more on how accurately that they can find the audiences that they're looking for. And I think for our platform operator customers, there's going to be an even more increased focus on kind of the video experiences of their customers within the confines of advertising. People are watching more TV than ever. And so there's a real opportunity there for platform operators to focus on their experience that they're giving their customers. Advertising plays a big role in that. We've seen that Sky, I think, said that addressable advertising reduces channel switching by 50% or very close to 50%, wow, which is obviously a very important statistic. And so it kind of illustrates to you that addressable advertising can play a role in contributing to a really good experience for your customers.
So that's a nice wrap up. So good hope for the future. The worst point is over. You can deploy quickly, and now you know also who to call. That's John.
That's it.
John, it was a pleasure of having you here. Thank you for this talk. I hope we'll be soon able to meet in London, elsewhere on a trade show conference. Maybe it will take some months. But anyway, thank you very much for being here.
Without a doubt. Thanks, Andy. Absolute pleasure.